Y'all. Like I said, welcome to the 2 o'clock session. What's going on out there in the world? What can we see? Well, currently, what did I come on here to really talk about? Currently, the sun here is at 29 degrees. Is at 29 degrees Gemini. The moon is currently at 25 degrees Aries, conjunct Chiron in Aries. Saturn and Neptune are still together. They're going to be traveling together for a while. Saturn's at 1 degrees, Neptune's at 2 degrees Aries. Why is this significant? If you look over here at Jupiter, Jupiter is at 2 degrees Cancer. Cancer is a cardinal sign. Aries is a cardinal sign. Cancer is a water sign. Aries is a fire sign. This is 90-degree aspect, so this is creating a square. Jupiter and Neptune are currently square. Depending on how you look at it, so is Jupiter still square with Saturn. What they would call that is a separating aspect, separating square. That is what that would be called, a separating square. Now, again, Jupiter, Mercury is at 21 degrees. Mars is at 1 degree Virgo. That is an applying sextile to Jupiter and Cancer at 1 degree, water to earth. We have Uranus at 29 degrees Taurus. 29 degrees Taurus. So not only do we have one planet at 29 degrees, which is going to be moving tomorrow, we have 2 planets at the 29th critical analytic degree. The 29th degree brings up urgency. It's a culmination. It's a point of intensity. And so when you look at these planets, the sun, you look at the sun at 29 degrees, you look at Uranus at 29 degrees. So both of them are bringing a point of urgency, culmination, and intensity. Where is Taurus in your chart? Where is Gemini in your chart? Where is Taurus in your chart? Where is Gemini in your chart? This is how you figure out and start working with energy on a personal level. Even though I talk about this energy in a mundane way, even though I talk about this energy in a, in general ways, right? Although I talk about this energy a lot in general ways, you got to make this stuff personal, y'all. You got to make this stuff personal. And the way to make it personal is you need to know your chart. You know, and when I'm saying you need to know your chart, I'm not saying sitting up here saying that your chart needs to be memorized or anything, but you should have access to your chart. You should find out what your rising sign is. Once you find out what your rising sign is, at that point you could start making this energy personal. You can make it personal. So yeah. Now, how to make it personal, how to find out your rising sign for the people who are not sure. You need a time of birth. You need make sure you have your exact time of birth. One of the things y'all got to realize, well, you realize it, you may not, you realize it, but you see it. You see the sun travel through the sky throughout the day. It moves. It's moving. It's moving. It depends on where you at, but it's moving from the sunset rises in the east and sets in the west. All right, and so at 12 o'clock, anywhere on the planet, where will the sun be? It will be right above your head, straight above your head, right? And so, with that being said, depending on your rising sign, right? When the sun comes up every morning, depending on what season we are celebrating, that the sign that's going to be on that cusp will be the sign in which we are celebrating. For instance, for the last 29 days, every day the sun came up since we touched Gemini season. When the sun comes up, Gemini is on the ascendant as soon as the sun is coming over, right? And so in general, it takes about two hours for a rising sign to change signs, roughly. Some signs move quicker than others, so some rising signs, probably more the masculine ones, will be a little less than an hour. There are signs that do carry the same ascension times, right? This wouldn't be a 2:00 session without a session. So for all the smokers out there, light on. I think Mr. Mental might join in the session in a little while. But staying on topic. All right. So, for instance, as you can see in this chart here, if I go back, right, to 2:00, it's the 2:00 session, and at 2:00, the ascendant was at 13 degrees Libra, which is interesting for me because that connects to a placement in my chart, 13th degree. But anywho, so you see at 2:00, the ascendant is at 13 degrees Libra. If I go moving an hour, 3:00 is going to be right at the end of Libra. A few more minutes. at 3:20, where I'm currently at, the ascendant will move into Scorpio. Now, if I go back to early this morning, this is 5:20 a.m. If you look here, the ascendant is at 20 degrees Gemini, and the sun is at 29 degrees, which means the sun has not come over the it's not daylight. If I go an hour later at 6:20, the sun is here. What's that? 5 degrees away from the ascendant. So today, if I want to find out where I'm currently at now, right? So sunrise today was exactly 6:02 a.m. here, and at that time, as soon as that 6:02 happened, with the sun at 29 degrees, at 6:02 we went into ascendant in Cancer. Now, if I change this for 2 hours, boom, boom, we right there at the end of Cancer at 8:02. Give me a couple more minutes. Now we in the Leo. All right. So, but by the way, did y'all see that? Let's just say 8:04, 8:02. You are twin. Say you are a twin. You born at 8:02. 10 minutes later, look. If you born 12 minutes later, 10 minutes later, your ascendant is different. So even though y'all could be identical twins, look exactly like each other and all of that, y'all gonna act different because y'all, number one, y'all gonna have different rising signs, and your sun purpose, if we want to go with the sun as the purpose, your purpose is gonna be focused in two different areas. All your planets are gonna be shifted in two different areas. And so people may sit up there and look at this twin and be like, damn, they look up. Why are they so different? They so different because of what I just said. They could be sharing different rising signs. Even if they're not sharing different rising signs, say they have the same rising sign. They don't have, they may not, I guarantee they probably, unless they came out within a couple minutes, I guarantee they ain't gonna have the same bound ruler. So what is bound ruler? That means this planet is in charge of a certain amount of territory. And if one twin has, let's just say Jupiter, or let's just say one twin is in the bounds of Venus, and the other twin is in the bounds of Mars. One twin could be more alike than the other. The one twin can come across more charming and likable and all of that, and the other twin, with being in the bounds of Mars, is more led by Mars, which could be getting into disputes, fights, arguments, like to cut and sever. They like to do all the Mars type shit. So time is very important, especially the time that you took your very first breath. Now, and this is not even what this is supposed to be about, rising signs and all that stuff, right? So what is this supposed to be about? It's supposed to be about the 29th degree. Now, the 29th degree in astrology, when you think about the name, the critical degree, critical. When you think of the word critical, what's the definition of critical? Expressing adverse or disapproving comments or judgments. Critical. Expressing or involving an analysis of merits and faults of work of literature, music, or art. What are similar words for critical? Negative, judgmental, fault finding. Picky, nitpicking. Scathing, disparaging, disapproving, condemning. And if you think about the words or those words I just threw out there, you know, they're not that's not words that someone would automatically want to embrace. And you can see why. And so why would anybody want to, they don't step into disapproving and scathing and negative and judgmental, because who wants to be judged? We've been the programming that's come from these institutions. It's not right to judge. It's not right to judge. Right? So, 29th degree. Sun at 29 degrees. So the sun has reached a judgmental, critical, disapproving, disparaging point within Gemini area, your Gemini area. So where's your Gemini area at? Oh, wait, hold up. Let me see. Guess what, boys and girls? Guess who has arrived? Hey, it's Mr. Mental. How you doing, Mr. Mental? I can't hear you. I think you got your, what you call it on?
How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Great.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? It's Friday.
Hello, neighbor.
So, how you doing, neighbor?
Doing awesome, neighbor.
All right. Did you got you one for this 2:00 session?
I do.
All right. I was just talking about the 29th degree. The 29th degree in astrology. Well, and then I was right about to go into the number 29, and then you showed her. Now, and I was just about to say, y'all, 2 + 9 is 11. And 11, isn't 11 a master number?
87 is the master number. It is.
And so, if I add this critical, and I also was saying, Mr. Mental, that the 29th degree, it's called the critical degree. And then I was talking about some of the words, similar words that come with critical, which would be fault finding, judgmental, negative, unfavorable, hypercritical, picky. And so if you think about those words in conjunction with the 29th degree, you could see why people would like to stay away from the number 29 in their chart, or start to look around, because it's kind of like when things are at the 29th degree, it is like a culmination point. Culmination. Urgency, intensity. And so when it comes to the Gemini area, 29th degree, there's a culmination, there's an intensity point. We're at it. Now, to get some further, to dig deeper into this, Gemini, like I said, find Gemini, but not only find Gemini in your chart, also find Leo. Why do you say, Paul, why are you saying find Leo? Well, the reason I'm telling you find Leo, because the sun rules Leo. And wherever you have Leo in your chart, this culmination of the sun being at 29 degrees has something to do with where Leo is in your chart. And it also has to do with the placement of Mercury in your chart. Paul, why are you saying the placement of Mercury? Because Mercury rules Gemini. And wherever that Mercury is in your chart has something to say about this culmination point of the sun being at 29 degrees Gemini. So what does that mean, y'all? You just can't look at a point and start talking and, hey, it means this and mean that. There's layers and stuff you got to put on this stuff. There's more layers to this cake. You gonna have a one layer cake? What they call a one layer cake? Cornbread?
Cornbread.
Is a one layer cake a cupcake? Yeah. So we at the 29th degree again. Now, Mr. Mental, what does that, do you know off the top of your head what the number 11 stands for?
Off the top of my head, I do not, but it's around the area like a spirit similar to number 10. You know, it's been a spiritual guru. It's like a spiritual teacher or a professor of that magnitude, actually. You know, teaching versus, lecturing.
Yeah. All right.
Also, the master number 11, it carries the image of initiation. It's also can be looked at as a doorway or a portal.
A doorway or a portal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why everybody be all up on the 11:11 stuff. That is a doorway or a portal, in a sense. a doorway or a portal moment.
Yeah. And other people, celebrate the angel numbers incorrectly.
So, when it comes to the Kabbalah, the number 29 points to news, a chronicle, news or chronicle, news or chronicle. The 29, according to Kabbalah, 11 is about heightened intuition, would you say?
Yeah.
Heightened intuition, intuitive awareness, empathetic consciousness, and general inclination toward mysticism and spiritual knowledge. The power of divine messengers, spiritual warriors. 11 points to spiritual warriors. 11 points to spiritual warriors. 29 points to news chronicle. Now, I'm starting to find this interesting, Mr. Mental. Putting the 29 with the 11, putting it in the sign of Gemini, which is about communication, putting it at the critical degree, which is judgment, negative, disapproving, delivering a message, and spiritual messages. 11's about intuition. Have you been ignoring your intuitions because of fear of disapproving and judgmental people or settings that allow you to censor yourself? Is there something that is disparaging, disapproving, fault finding, negative? Is there something in your area that you're not speaking to and failing to speak up to? Or is that, by the way, there's other similar words which being critical in the positive, being analytical, evaluating, finding explanations to things. Gemini is information gathering as well. So, which one are you? Are you information gathering and interpreting the information in a positive way, or are you gathering information, hearing information, and turning nitpicky, negative, turn it negative, you know, bitching about shit? You know that person that could always find something to bitch about? Man, welcome to heaven. Yeah. Hey, welcome to heaven. It's too bright up here. What? It's a little too warm.
Wings on the back.
Yeah. So, yeah. So we got Gemini. And you know, speaking about this, let me see something here. I want to type something in here. Let's see. It says here 29 is often seen as a massive number in disguise. It's a karmic degree that brings intense spiritual challenges and breakthroughs. 2 plus 9 equals 11, Mr. Mental. which has a master number of intuition, spiritual insight, and illumination. And one of the things you pointed to was 11 is the psychic portal. It opens up deep perception, higher knowing, but only after navigating the pressure and confusion of duality and endings. 2 plus 2 and a 9. Duality, 2, 9, ending. 2 and 9 together brings you to the edge of something final. An old cycle, a relationship, an identity, mental, or a belief system is ready to die. You know, there's a famous rapper that had a album called Ready to Die. And, you know, he actually seen his death at a very early age. The notorious Biggie Smalls had an album. I think his first album was called Ready to Die. Now, in this spiritual metaphysical world, Mr. Mental would say that Biggie Smalls and his rival Tupac actually spoke spells upon themselves. But I don't want to put words in Mr. Mental's mouth, but if I go with his teachings, I'm pretty sure he would go that route.
You would be correct.
All right. So 29 brings us to the edge of something final. Like I said, old cycles, old relationships, identities, or belief systems are ready to die. But this isn't about loss, right? It's not about loss. 29 reduces to 11. It's really about initiating into a higher intuitive awareness. You are not just closing a chapter, you're stepping into the threshold space where intuition, 11, is the only compass that works. We're stepping into a world. Do you have a response to this, Mr. Mental? We're stepping into a world where intuition might be the only thing you can trust.
Well, yes. 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 That's only to the people who know the difference between intuition and ego. Sometimes
the
that
difference
voice
between people knowing the difference between intuition and ego.
Yeah.
All right.
They both whisper to you. What will determine which one shows up, it would be the mental space you are in. If you in a negative space, you know, you got some hatred on your heart, you know, got some grief, some beef on your chest. Well, that little voice might tell you to do some things that might get you a little bit in trouble. But intuition will never give you the wrong answer.
Now that you just said that, I gotta bring this up because intuition and emotions are in the same damn place, come from the same area. And if you are not emotionally balanced and emotionally connected, what can that say about your intuitive hits and things that you, and think about this, what I just said. Hey, the only thing that will work at this moment right now is your intuitive compass. And what if your compass is off? What if your compass needs calibration and you don't know it?
A lot of people's compasses that needs to be recalibrated, and they don't know it.
Well, will it be a surprise to you when they end up in a destination that they didn't intend to go in the first place?
It would not surprise me at all. That is the result of following directions from a broken compass.
Woo! But that compass could be right. A compass, hey, they say a broke clock is right twice a day, but a compass, I don't think that applies to a compass, does it?
I don't think that could.
All right. Now, yo, I also said, is that everything I wanted to say about the 29th degree? 29 is I said it's a did I say it's a karmic climax or spiritual initiation? You're being pushed to surrender control and trust the inner voice and your inner guidance.
That's difficult for people to do when they think they control shit.
Well, in all actuality, man, now you're getting personal because, all right, y'all, now we got to get personal. Yesterday, all right, I just told y'all that the sun is at 29 degrees. The sun is at 29 degrees, Gemini, all right? My sun is at 29 degrees, Virgo. And Pluto is at 29 degrees Virgo as well. You know, I know that they got people that say, hey, I don't talk about my chart and I don't divulge my chart out there. But, you know, hey, not only is that going on, but we have Uranus at 29 degrees as well. Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign. Virgo is an earth sign. So that means it's trine. So not only do I have Uranus, the planet of shock, awe, unexpected, freedom, and liberation at 29 degrees aspecting my sun and Pluto, I have the sun square my sun and Pluto. Square because Gemini, air to earth, 90 degrees. And so, yesterday, I'm in the working and with someone who, my boss, and we riding around and all of that. And within the mix of this ride, one thing came up. It was a culmination point. And one thing you just said, which is making me, hey, you can't control the conversation. But you are. Hey, you don't want me to control it, but you do, because you do. So what's the difference between your control and my control? Who's doing the bad? Your control is better than mine?
Yeah.
No. And so, liberation, it talks about liberation and stuff like that. And the 29th degree is a culmination point. It talks about, and then I said it's about old systems and all of that. And so mental, in all actuality, the conversation turned into a conversation I used to have, seemed like, with my mother on my rides to fucking school. And at that moment, I had a point of liberation. Hey, motherfucker, it ain't going down like this. I ain't gonna let you railroad me and run me over in this conversation. I don't give a fuck your position. You ain't about to do me like that, like you do everybody else. That was a culmination point. That was a critical point. Things had to be said, and I had to live wherever the chips fell. So, what would that be? Uranus? Maybe that surprised her, shocked her. I don't know that I responded like that. You know what I'm saying? But hey, by the way, y'all say you want bring personal. Hey, that was a big moment for me, especially with somebody with Saturn in the first house. Saturn in the first house likes to block. Put it in Gemini, block communication. What could that mean? Censor my fucking self. Then you go back to censor myself for what? Because of me? No, because of your soft ass feelings. Can't take criticism and constructive criticism. And what did I say? It's 29. What's critical about? What was the words? Judgmental, fault finding, disparaging, disapproving, hey, scathing. You could dish it out, but you can't take it? Glass houses shouldn't throw motherfucking stones.
Right.
But it's always the glass house motherfuckers that want to react when their windows get shattered. How dare you shatter my windows? Motherfucker, you should have put some goddamn window tint on your shit, so the limousine tent, so you can't see outside. And then you won't have shit to complain about. And then motherfucker won't turn around and throw a stone at your glass ass house. I'm sitting over here in brick. My shit bricked up. So if you in a glass house, if you in a mobile home that can't take hurricane force winds or a tornado coming around that motherfucker, watch yourself. You know, I forgot that movie when they told that girl, fix yourself. Fix yourself. But yeah, so, hey, by the way, bring in the rest of the energy. Let's bring in the rest of the energy. Saturn in Aries, Jupiter in Cancer, square. What does that mean? Saturn in fall, in Aries. Hey, I ain't gonna let you bully me around. What the fuck? By the way, one of the things I know about bullies, you punch that motherfucker in the mouth, they go running off, crying. I can't believe you punched me. Well, you shouldn't have been, stomping around like you Mr. Big Draws. You always gonna come up against, you never know when you're gonna come up against that one, but when you come up against that one, are you ready? Hey, mental. Hey, I hope you put in your practice.
Okay. It's gonna be a long day.
Yeah. So, hey. So just to bring it back, like I was saying, this stuff personally for me, this 29th degree, ain't no joke. This ain't no joke for me. Tension, square, tension. But it's also, like I said, trine is tension. Square is tension. Trine is support. So Uranus, at that 29th degree, was trying to liberate me. break free. The 29th degree is the death of the old self. Letting the intuitive light that guides you through the dark hallway. You ever been in a house? It's dark. Can't the light switch way on the other side of the room, and you gotta intuitively make your way through that dark ass house, not tripping and falling and busting your head. And you know, mental, when a lot of these things happen, breakdowns and all of that, we're not being broken. We're being asked to initiate something new. It's not really to sit back and be up there with all that woe is me bullshit. Going over there crying in your Fruit Loops. Got your Kleenex out, right? By the way, on another subject. So, do you know what tomorrow is, Mr. Mental?
Saturday.
What else is it?
The 21st.
The what?
21st.
And yes, you are correct.
That's the first day of summer, isn't it?
And that has a name. Do you know the name of it?
The summer solstice.
That would be it. The summer solstice. And you know what the summer solstice really means? You want me to give you the cheat sheet? You know what it means, mental?
What it means?
We at the halfway point.
Okay.
We done reached the halfway point of the year. Yeah, we at the halfway point. So if the sun is at 29 degrees, what degree will it be at tomorrow?
30.
There really isn't a 30 degree. So if
Well, then one.
what?
I say then it would be one.
No. The 30th degree would be called equivalent to a number that some say doesn't exist. But you say it does. What number would that be?
0.
That would be the number. And when the sun is at 0 degrees, do you know what that is called, Mr. Mental?
I do not.
It is called the cusp. C-U-S-P. Cusp. Not lust, as in your stellium and Scorpio. Cusp. C-U-S-P. Right? Cusp. By the way, we also, I spoke about Jupiter square Saturn. Jupiter actually is at 2 degrees and it's actually really square Neptune. It's a separating square from Saturn, and it's conjunct square by degree Neptune. That's interesting too, because Neptune, depending on the school of thought, tradition-wise, Jupiter rules Pisces, but modern thought, Neptune rules Pisces. So in all actuality, and some people call them co-rulerships, Jupiter and Neptune. I personally don't get down like that. But if you go with that thought, the co-rulers of Pisces is square each other. One in Cancer, one in Neptune, one in Aries. Aries is fire, and you think about dreams, spirituality, that would be two that'll be having one belief system, but within that belief system, 2 different factions. And with this being Juneteenth, I can look at that with, you got the tethers versus the ADOS. Both of them, I think it's both of them, is it ADOS and I forgot the other group, the name. But with that being said, and the argument, they both want the same thing, which would be reparations, but then the split within that same group would be, all right, who gets it and who doesn't within inside this group. We all want reparations, but who really gets it and who doesn't? Now, you can see how that can create a tension point within the same belief system. Jupiter could represent the old guard in the old way because it is one of the traditional planets. And then Neptune could be the new age and where they want to go. But then, hey, Neptune is actually ruled, if I'm bringing tarot in, is the hangman. Hanging upside down. Hey, if we go your way, will your way have us hanging in limbo? Saturn, right there with Neptune. Hey, is your beliefs and stuff, is it on solid ground? Or is it in delusional spaces, dreamy spaces? Is your dreamy spaces capable of even being grounded in reality? Saturn. So if you think about it, you got Jupiter receiving tension from Neptune and Saturn from a superior position. What does that mean? Jupiter and Neptune in the square aspect have the upper hand on Jupiter, who actually is exalted in Cancer. One of the other things that, speaking of this, the sun moving into Cancer, as you see, Mars is at that 1 degree. So when it moves into Cancer tomorrow, it is going to start it's going to aspect that Mars at 1 degree and is going to start engaging Jupiter. And it's moving toward Jupiter to have its Cazimi moment. What is Cazimi? The heart of the sun. Jupiter is heading toward the heart of the sun. Jupiter is heading toward the heart of the sun to burn off the final Jupiter karma. And if you think about it, Jupiter's been in Gemini for a year, working on the last synodic cycle of the last meeting of Jupiter and the Sun, which happened almost a year ago. All right? Would you like to see? Let me go back 1 year. 1 year. So when was the last? Interesting. So the last time the Sun and Jupiter, this was, let's get it right now. My now y'all see my Virgo's coming out right now. I'm trying to get it perfect. Look like it's gonna be 28 minutes. It's 28 degrees, 18 minutes. 28 degrees, 18 minutes. This is the Cazimi and the burning off. The last time the sun burnt off Jupiter's karma and started a new karmic cycle with Jupiter. Now, let's look at that. Let's stop right here. What sign is that in? It's in the sign of Taurus. Now think about it. Where is Taurus in your chart? Everybody stop right now and find Taurus in your chart. For Aquarius rising, that's going to be the 4th. For the Gemini rising, it's going to be the 12th. For Taurus rising, that's going to be your 1st. For Scorpio rising, it's going to be your 7th. Virgo rising is going to be your 9th house. Libra rising is going to be your 8th. Pisces rising, Virgo is going to be your 7th. Sagittarius rising, Virgo is going to be your 10th. So there was a cycle that started right then, right? Now, let's make it personal. I kind of made it personal already just by telling you to find Taurus in your chart. Now let's get even more personal. How do you figure this cycle out even more? Where is Jupiter in your chart? Where is Jupiter in your chart? In your natal chart. If you have Jupiter in Taurus, that means you was having a Jupiter return. So find Jupiter in your chart. And in a way, to make it really, Jupiter is going to rule 2 signs. So for this Virgo rising, Jupiter is going to rule the 7th house and the 4th house. So this, for Virgo rising, this setting of burning off a karmic side and setting of a new Jupiter cycle that just is ending in a couple of days. We're days, like 3 days away from this new start. But this is how you find it. So when it comes to a Virgo rising, this resetting, this setting point, which happened May 18, 2024, last year, has something to do with your relationships and business contracts and your home, your family, your emotional body. And just for shits and giggles, if I want to throw the sun in there to get more, the sun rules your 12 of confined spaces, self-undoing, prisons, hospitals, jails, among other things. So, like I said, you gotta bake a cake. Bake the cake. 7, 4, 12, 9. Beliefs, higher learning. Beliefs, higher learning. Foreign, things that are foreign. Relationships, home, 12th house, self-undoing, sun energy. This is how you figure out your own shit. Now, let's look up what was the let me look that up. All right. So, when it comes to this Jupiter cycle in Taurus that got started May 18th, 2024, per the Saban symbol. All right, let's tie this in with the Saban symbol. The Saban symbol for this degree would be a peacock parades on an ancient lawn. A peacock parades on an ancient lawn. We all know what a peacock looks like. What does this mean? Interpretation. This symbol represents beauty, pride, and the display of one's unique gifts. The peacock's radiant feathers symbolize self-expression, confidence, and the ability to attract admiration through natural elegance. The ancient lawn suggests tradition, heritage, and a connection to timeless values. So, key themes with this Sabin symbol. Self-expression and confidence. Recognition and pride. Timeless beauty. Showmanship. Embracing self-expression and confidence. Embracing your true colors without hesitation. Cyndi Lauper had a song called True Colors. Look it up. Listen to it. Recognition and pride. Being seen and appreciated for your talents. You ain't got to tell a motherfucker you good. Just go out there and perform. They'll let you know. Excuse me. Had a moment. Had a quick moment, y'all. Had a flashback, y'all. I digress. What was that? Oh. Timeless beauty. Aligning with enduring qualities rather than fleeting trends. Hey, are you someone who's trying to keep up with the Joneses? What does keeping up with the Joneses actually do for you? And do you think the Joneses is impressed that you keeping up with them? Or are they over there talking shit, talking about, look at them motherfuckers over there copying off of me. Hey, but you too busy trying to keep up with Jones. Does Jones even know you, who you are? And you trying to keep up with Jones. And then showmanship. What is showmanship? Knowing when to step into the spotlight. Everybody want lights, camera, action on you, but are you ready for it? Did you put in the work? Did you put in the practice? Because where's that come from? Mars and Virgo. We was talking the other day, if you was here for the other 2 o'clock session. Mars and Virgo asking, did you put in the work? Did you do the work? Oh, I didn't know you was back there, Mr. Mental. I see. Made it to the house?
Yeah, man.
Good. I was just talking about being in the house.
Oh, well, look at God.
Yeah. This degree in Taurus, this Sabin symbol encourages you to own your brilliance while staying grounded in authenticity. Are you ready to let your inner light shine? Are you ready to let your inner light shine? Or do you need to change the goddamn light bulb? Is that bulb too dingy? Do you have a 45 watt bulb and you need to change to a 100 watt bulb? Do you have LED lights in your shit? Do you even have electricity? Or are you sitting up there with what they used to call that back in the day with them lanterns? You sitting there with candlelight. You know, candlelight is cool for a romantic dinner. But candlelight ain't cool for your authentic self. Did you hear that last one, Mr. Mental?
About the candlelight ain't cool if something. It's cool when you by yourself eating dinner.
Yeah, it's cool for a romantic candlelight dinner, but it ain't cool for your authentic self. So the 29th degree, which is actually, Mental, this happened in your first house, what I'm talking about. So for the last year, this applies to your first house of self, all right? And by the way, so just to be transparent, Taurus is my 12th. And so in a way, some of what I'm talking about could have been what I've been denying and self-undoing in an area, in a way, right? So, and I go back to them. I'll reiterate the themes. And this been going on since May 18th, mental of 2024. So the theme in your first house of self-expression and confidence, recognition and pride, timeless beauty and showmanship, owning your own brilliance. And so now we reaching the end of that karmic cycle that the sun and Jupiter, there was a Jupiter karmic cycle that's going on. And we're about to start a new one in a couple of days. And, okay, if I go back to you, that karmic cycle would have been going on, apply, like I said, if I put this in your first house, all right, here in the first, I don't know, wait, hold up. You can't see this. You can see that now, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, so, yeah, this applies to your first house of self. And then I said, now you got to look at what does Jupiter rule for you? Jupiter rules Pisces and Sagittarius. That would be your 8th and your 8th here and your 11th. So this karmic cycle that started May 18th of 2024, this Jupiter karmic synodic cycle that started May 18, 2024, has something to do with your 8th house of deep bonded relationships, shared assets, money owed, death, taxes, sex, occult knowledge. It also had to do with 11th house of groups that you're connected to, friends that you're connected to, your connection to technology, internet, and how, bringing it back to the first, how this affects you. And just for shits and giggles, if you throw the sun rules your 4th house of home, family, and roots, and emotional body. So for the last year, since May 18th, you've been going through a karmic cycle that's about your friends and groups you connected to, 8th house issues, and 4th house issues. And that's just being general with a Taurus rising. Now, to make it personal, where are them damn planets in your chart? I think you got Jupiter in Capricorn.
Capricorn, yeah.
Yeah, so it has something to do with beliefs, your beliefs and philosophy, beliefs, foreign, connection to foreign. And then your sun is in the 10th, public, your reputation. Your reputation when it comes to occult knowledge and groups and the stuff you sit and study at home. By the way, even though May 18th, that started the cycle. In all actuality, Jupiter, if I move this like a month, not even a month. Let me go back a month. If I move this, right after on May 27th, right after the beginning of this May 18th, beginning of this cycle, Jupiter actually changed signs and spent a goddamn year in Gemini. And so even though this cycle started in Taurus, the whole cycle actually played out in the sign of Gemini, which would be for you your 2nd house of money, value, self-esteem, self-worth. Did they value it? For me, it's self-undoing, and how, by the way, Jupiter went in detriment in Gemini. How in those areas we put ourselves, not communicating, how we put ourselves in detrimental situations. Or things, how lack of communication, or some could communicate too damn much and put themselves in detrimental situations. And some people need to speak more and don't say a goddamn thing. I.e. that thing I was talking about earlier, asked you. hey, should the black community come running out for what's going on in the Hispanic community? And you said, no, because when we had stuff going on, y'all sat back and said nothing. Now you want us to pull our nads out.
My equestrians are gonna stay in the stable.
Ooh. Right? So now with that being said, now let's come to the day. You see the sun heading at 29 degrees, which is 3 degrees away from Jupiter. So let's go. Watch this. I'm got days set. 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually, let's see. Is it 4? Oh, 4 days away. Let's wait. Let me make sure. So the sun will meet Jupiter at 3 degrees. I'm making on Tuesday, July 24th, at 3 degrees. Looks like it's going to be 21 minutes. 3 degrees, 21 minutes. Jupiter will have this synodic reset, Mr. Mental Reset. Jupiter will have this karmic reset at 3 degrees, 21 minutes, Cancer. And not like last time, how this synodic cycle started in one sign at the end of Taurus and moved into Gemini. This whole cycle should stay in Cancer. So watch, if I move 1 year from now, Jupiter is at the 28th degree, and if I go days, as you see, Jupiter is going to switch signs, go into Leo around June 30th next year, 2020, and the sun hasn't came back around. So this next Jupiter sun cycle is going to start somewhere early degree Leo. Something look like around 6 degrees Leo in 2026. But we're not there yet. We haven't even done the Cancer cycle yet, right? Which I said again is starting at 3 degrees Cancer. Now, where is Cancer in your chart? Where is Cancer in your chart? What house? Because we got to do the same thing. Just because Jupiter's in Cancer, that doesn't. We're still talking about the same houses that Jupiter rules and the sun rules for you, right? So for this Scorpio rising, Jupiter rules the 2nd and the 5th. And so even though last cycle had something to do with Scorpio rising 2nd and the 5th, it's the music is changing, but it's the same dance. 2nd, 5th. Do you understand that, Mental? Same dance?
Kind of, yeah.
Basically, your Jupiter rules 2 houses, the Sagittarius and Taurus, Sagittarius and Pisces. That ain't never gonna change. So anytime Jupiter is having an aspect in your chart or something's going on with Jupiter, those 2 houses is fair game every time. That ain't gonna change until it ain't gonna change till you get a different chart, which well, I was gonna say which would be next lifetime, but according to your soul contract and all that, this your last hurrah.
This is it.
Right? So let's go back to the Saban symbols. So, like I said, we're beginning a brand new Sun-Jupiter cycle, synodic cycle at 3 degrees Cancer. 3 degrees Cancer. So, what does the Saban symbol have to say about this degree in Cancer? What's up with my internet? Ooh. All right, Mr. Mental. I'ma just read the sentence, and I would like you to tell me. I'ma stop right there after that. And I want to wondering what's gonna be the first thing that comes to your mind when I read this.
All right, go ahead.
A cat arguing with a mouse.
A cat arguing with the mouse.
Yeah, that's what was said for this degree in Cancer. And that is what this new synodic Sun-Jupiter cycle is about. A cat arguing with a mouse.
First thing that came to my mind was arguing with your food.
They say don't play with your food, huh?
They ain't say nothing about arguing with it, though.
You know, Mental, now that you say that, arguing with your food, you know what the sign, what could be that equivalent of?
What?
Placing guilt, when you're eating something, placing guilt on what you're eating.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, like you, if you sat up there and ate your pork chop sandwich right about now, as you eating that pork chop sandwich, be sitting up there telling yourself, man, I shouldn't be eating this pork chop, feeling guilty and all that.
Yeah.
Instead of, because this pork is bad for me and blah, blah, blah. Instead of sitting back there savoring the flavors and of that pork chop and all that, you sitting up there putting guilt and all that stuff on your food.
Right.
That could be an argument with food. You have an emotional experience with food. Is food your friend, or do y'all get into it with each other? All right, the interpretation of this, a cat arguing with a mouse. This is an intriguing symbol, represents conflict, power dynamics, and the tension between predator and prey. Tension between predator and prey. The cat symbolizes dominance, cunning, and control, while the mouse represents vulnerability, quick thinking, and survival instincts. Key themes: power struggles, negotiation and wit, instinctual behavior, and unresolved tension. Power struggles: a situation where one party holds authority over another in relationships, work, or personal challenges. Negotiation and wit: the mouse's survival depends on cleverness, suggesting that intelligence can overcome brute force. Instinctual behavior: acting on primal urges, the cat's aggression versus strategic retreat, the mouse's caution. Unresolved tension: the argument implies a standoff where neither side fully wins.
Stalemate in chess.
Say, be aware of power imbalances in your life. Are you the cat or the mouse? Use strategy over force when facing challenges. Sometimes walking away like the mouse escaping is wiser than engaging in a losing battle. This symbol can also hint at inner conflict. Inner conflict are parts of yourself at odds. For example, ambition versus fear, assertiveness versus passivity. Tupac said, "My ambitions as a rider." That would be equivalent to Tupac making that song, "My ambitions as a rider," and refused to take the ride.
I'm good walking, dude. I'm alright.
Yeah, so when it comes to Cancer, where is Cancer in your chart? Find Cancer. Now, after you find Cancer, you know what you need to look for after that? I know what y'all want to say. I know you smart asses want to say, find Jupiter. No! Find the moon. Because the moon rules Cancer. Because wherever that moon is in your chart, it's going to affect that area and that Cancer area. And back to Jupiter, and whatever Jupiter rules in your chart. So if I want to make it personal for me, if I was saying, hey, Paul, what is this going to affect for you? How would I make it personal for me? Let me go and put my little kids out there in the street. So this Jupiter news resetting has to do with money, self-esteem, self-worth, the bag. When it comes to 10th and 7th house, career, reputation, business contracts, and relationships. Sun ruling the 3rd, how you communicate, how you move, what are you leading, Leo. And then to make it even more personal, my moon is in the 6th house. How you spend your day routine and your health. Are you focused? Is your daily routine focused on a healthy practice to be able to connect to people in business relationships that won't affect your relationship reputation, and in all actuality, bring you the bag? I.e., what does that mean? What is this? This is the first day of, oh shit, $50 Friday. And I'm putting it out there publicly. 10th house. Hey, you want a business contract with me? Come do it publicly for $50 goddamn dollars. And I will Scorpio your shit. 6th house. Break down your daily routine. What's your health? And by the way, now bringing back in more in my chart, Mars rules my Scorpio, Mars in the 9th, and it probably has something to do with what you believe. We got to tear some shit down because Mars likes to cut and sever. We got to cut and sever some beliefs away from you that's fucking with your health and your daily routine. Or there's some shit that you need to do. And that shit, you know what that shit is, mental?
What's that shit?
Practice.
No, not the P word. The P word. You dirty.
Yeah, back to practice. Paul, why you can't leave that practice word alone? So, by the way, y'all, this is really important because not only do we have this new synodic Jupiter cycle starting, and like I said, 24th, we 4 days away from that. You know what's happening a couple of days right after that, mental?
No.
Right after that. Couple of days. Let me see. The next goddamn day on June 25th. You know what the next damn day is? the new moon in Cancer at 4 degrees Cancer, right next to Jupiter. So not only is Jupiter getting a karmic resetting, we also getting a new moon, planning intentions, seed, in Cancer. Could we say your Cancer place area in your chart is due for a mommy makeover, tummy tuck, a Brazilian butt lift?
Yeah, Judy.
Liposuction? All right, so we getting a karmic synodic Jupiter reset on the 24th, and then Wednesday we backdoored with the new moon in Cancer. So not only, if you think about it, Jupiter's about growth and expansion, Cancer's family, emotional body, that's like family roots, real estate, homes, emotional growth. When it comes to Jupiter shit, your beliefs, what you believe, your dreams and wishes, new karmic cycles resetting. Maybe, like I said, it's square Saturn, so hey, is your stuff reality based or is it fugazi? Once you see it, here it is. Now you know. Where'd it go? Oh man, sleight of hand. I'm David Blaine around here.
Okay.
Anything that I heard that you heard me speak about, mental, spark any thoughts inside you that you would like to?
I was making it personal, so I didn't have any general thoughts, just areas in my life where that stuff is happening, seeds that I need to think about, planting.
Do you think when I described that the past, the cycle that just ended and pointed to those houses, could you see that a cycle going on within that, or ending in that?
Yes. Different, I guess you can say, ways of studying.
Ooh, could you say even started studying different things?
Yeah, like we was talking the other day about applying some of the stuff. That's what was going on. So the studying has not stopped, but I started to apply some of the principles and formulas.
And how's that working out for you?
It's working well. Life is becoming more smoother, more balanced.
Ooh, do you think that's the great search nowadays? What it seems like a lot of people are seeking?
Balance? Yeah, but they ain't gonna find it, man. You know why they ain't gonna find it? Because they too positive.
Expound a little bit on that thought.
Some individuals who positive vibe only you to death. Good vibes only. If you are constantly seeking positive, well, I can only see two things. You are completely draped in negativity, or you just one of those people who cannot handle negativity. So, if when people can't,
How could that work against someone not being able to handle negativity?
they could fall into a state of depression. And so, people, these people today, they want a lot of positive vibes. They want good vibes over here, positive vibes over there. They don't want anything bad to happen to them. In which I get it. Nobody does. But when it shows up, if you haven't been with negative or struggle before, how are you going to know how to handle it next time it shows up? Because it's going to show up. And it's going to continue to show up.
Even the good Jesus Christ asked the Lord could we bypass this whole crucifixion?
Right.
Do we still? Hey, bro, do we really have to do this?
Okay, all right, okay. Let's say we have to do it. Does it have to be me? Shit.
The people,
Get the motherfucker over there.
Oh, they playing. Just check your Bible. Hey, Father, can you? I forgot the actual saying, but if this cup could pass by me, hey, can I just sit this one out? It's in there. It's in there, y'all. Go check it. Are you sure? I ain't just double checking about this plan. You sure I was supposed to get on that cross there? You don't think it was another cross a couple of years down the line?
Maybe you meant to say crossroads and you just left the road on. I can.
Was you thinking about that Bone song centuries down the line? Meet me
Yeah.
at the crossroads.
Oh shit.
But yeah, even Jesus didn't want to carry that cross.
Yeah, and people, and I get it. People don't want to have to sit in what they would consider bad situation. But sitting in that bad situation might be the best thing about that situation. This is where reflecting comes in at accountability. Look at the areas where you should have taken that left at Albuquerque. Shout out to Bugs Bunny.
Hope y'all are Looney Tunes.
Maybe you could have handled, the situation different than you did. Or like those glasses I was talking about earlier, don't look at that setback or that temporary defeat as something bad happening or something negative happening or something that, just somebody hating on you. The devil busy today, y'all. That type shit. Because 10 times out of 10, it was something that we did or didn't do that has us in whatever situation we end up in.
Yeah, people just don't want that smoke, huh?
Yeah.
It's hot in the fire, bro.
So,
the fire burn.
Yeah, man. But God baptizes with fire, though.
Well, hot damn. Oh man, yo, hey man, we coming up on 2 hours. So, quick question: is there any word of the day?
Pharmacy. we got the word pharmacy.
All right.
The etymology of this word pharmacy is pharmakeia, which means to use drugs, magic potion, also poison, sorcery.
Wait. It's funny you said that because I was watching. I forgot what the fuck I was watching. It may have been a TikTok thing, but they said alcohol was magic potions to change your spirits.
Yeah. So yeah, and a spell enchantment. I mean,
All right.
and so also a few. You know how you look up a definition, it got about 3 different ones, and as we know, we should be looking at all of those definitions. If you aren't, it would be beneficial to start. It also means right, RITE, which is a spell. Y'all remember that pharmacy Rite Aid? RITE?
Yep.
Yeah, so according to the definition, what was going on with it? See, they were playing with us in front of our face, but we weren't taught on that level. And so we didn't think anything of it. And it's crazy that we don't, but we were taught what to think, not how to think. And that's our biggest issue, because when it comes to thinking,
that was done on purpose. Why would that be done on purpose?
To have you thinking inside of this box right here, because once you start thinking outside of their box, well, the plan that was created to keep you down will crumble.
And if you know you're gonna stay in the box, I also know how you're gonna think and react and all of that.
Right. And so how do I keep you in the box? I create laws, rules and regulation, boundaries, fear,
trends,
yeah,
belief systems,
things like all of that shit. And so all of that was done, magically through the pharmacy, not necessarily through, your Rite Aid or your what's another, Eckert's or CVS or Walgreens. Yeah. But the actual magic and intention with these potions and spells that have us to react and behave in a manner or with a spirit that pretty much unbalance you. And so, pharmacy.
All right.
And one more thing about the pharmacy, if it's there to help us and to heal us, why is the word harm in it? And don't get in the comments talking about coincidence.
All right.
So.
All right. And you're gonna hit them with the one time.
With the one time.
Yeah. You're out.
Get up out of here, line.
Yeah.
Y'all have an awesome day, and remember, you're all stars, so shine like one.
All right, to thank Mr. Mental for joining me today on this $50 Friday 2 o'clock session. We do the 2 o'clock session not only on Fridays, but I want to thank y'all for that. I want to wish y'all all the Cancer babies out there, welcome to Cancer season. Happy summer solstice. Like I said, if anybody, you don't have to wait for Friday. If you want a reading, you can reach out. I am astrologyreading.com. Come to the booking section, sign up, send me a message. Again, if you want a t-shirt, send me a email. I am astrologyreadings@gmail, or just go on the website at the bottom, hit contact, send me a message. Comes to me like a text, I respond. Also remember, we're at the critical degree. Critical degrees are intense moments and moments of intensity. Moments of intensity, culmination, things coming to an end, things being illuminated. But again, the sun is going into Cancer to be at 0 degrees of Cancer. The sun is coming to illuminate things in your Cancer area. So if you don't want to see it, like that song, turn off the lights, the party's over. Sun say, hey, you can't turn this light out. I shine universally.
Okay.
You're about to see it if you want to or not. Again, I want to thank y'all for joining me on this Friday, day after Juneteenth. That's another subject. I don't want to get mental started on that one. But again, thank y'all. Y'all know how I end this. Know thyself and balance your energy.